Okay, that's fine.
Next again.
Yes. Okay, are we all ready, gentlemen? Yep. Okay, good morning. Thanks for your patience. I'm Ken Streets, this is Linda Hodgson. We're part of the tax team. I don't know if you know us, but we worked for many years with Stephen in on the tax team. And this is the presentation. So, when you're ready, I'm going to give you 10 minutes if I can find your phone. You've got a watch. Okay, we will be stopping you after 10 minutes if you haven't finished, or after 9 minutes or so if you've got minutes. Okay, we're not going to get heavy about it, but we don't want you to go over the 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, so when you're ready, deep breath. Best of luck.
Thank you. Good morning, my name is Nestor Scarlambus, and I would like to introduce to you my colleagues, Elias Tupas, Saras Stavrenidis, Alexandros Stavriodis, and Christodoulos Sophouleus. We are here to present the implementation of tax on employment and self-employment. I'm going to explain to Mr. Guy about the employment and the related issues on the matter. As employee, Mr. Guy has income for employment, which was his earnings for the services provided. Generally speaking, income for employment includes wages and salaries, bonuses and commission, expenses, allowances, etc. Employees, except on the income of employment, have also non-taxable income. This is not taxable by the revenue customs and mostly given by the employer. Continuing with the allowable expenses that an employee has, in which arising from the nature of the job he does. These expenses are deducted from an income of employment before income tax. To be recognized, though, by the revenue customs, must get into categories like subscriptions to professional studies, donations to approved charity, contributions to pension schemes, etc. Employees also contain some benefits which commonly called benefits in kind, and that are a source of income that is not expressed in monetary value. To assess though employees in these benefits must be divided in two categories: P11D, which are employees that take over £8,500 annual salary, and employees with less salary with this amount, but they own the 5% of the company share capital. Also, we have lower paid employees which have annual salary less than £8,500. The employee's assessment is made under pay-as-you-earn system, which is used to deduct the income tax and national insurance contribution from employees' payroll. Pay-as-you-earn form is filled up by the employer and covers also assets that is converting in monetary value. I will pass you on to my colleague Elias Tupas.
Continuing, when we're calculating utility income, capital expenditure is mostly not reduced. There are several types of capital expenditure that attract tax relief, and they are known as capital allowance. Basically, capital allowance isn't affect Guy because he was an employee, but in his current position will have an effect on him because he will start his own business. There are some eligible expenditures which are plant machinery, industrial buildings, and research and development. Firstly, in plant machinery, there are two types of pools, which are, the first one is the main pool where most general plant machinery is allocated. For example, factory machines, office equipment, and motor vans. Also, the available raising down allowance is calculated at a 20% per annum of the pool balance. The second type is the special rate pool, which is a pool where the applicable percentage on raising down allowance is 10% per annum. Assets arises when acquisition or replacement of a certain figure of a building. expenditure on a thermal solution of the building, and expenditure of the asset with a working life of 25 or more. Secondly, in industrial buildings, the allowances will not be claimed as from 6 of April 2011, but may still be claimed until that date. Industrial buildings include 3 types of buildings, such as factory buildings, staff welfare buildings, for example, canteens and sports facilities provided for employees. Finally, in research and development, allowance of 100% can be claimed on the first of the year. Now, my colleague Salsa will continue.
The writing down allowances of the pool at the end of the previous chargeable period is brought forward. Plant and machinery computation is based on the reducing balance. There is a restricted value on private use cars. The annual investment allowances. First £50,000 per annum of expenditure on plant machinery qualifies for 100% annual investment allowance. Also, the cars are not included, and the first year allowances is eligible after over £50,000. Expenditure on plant machinery allocated to the main pool and in excess of the £50,000 AIA limit is eligible for 40% of first year allowance. There is no money writing down allowances in year of purchases plant machinery. Finally, a first year allowances of 100% is available in relation to certain classes of expenditure on plant machinery. The main 100% first year allowances are as follows. First, expenditure on a low emission motor car. Second, expenditure on plant machinery for using the refueling of vehicles with natural gas. Third, expenditure incurred on certain classes of energy. Saving in water efficient plant machinery also qualifies for 100% first year allowances. My colleague Alessandro Spinelli.
Now I continue with the trading loss. Which one? The trading loss is the trading loss is the employees, personal trade and the account are negative. Regarding to the trading loss, there are 2 consequences. Firstly, when the personal trading income is negative, then personal tax year is set to 0. A person can claim the tax relief for the year in loss incurred. Now we have 4 different trading laws, which is the first one is the carry forward trading law relief of section 83 of 8, 7, which allows the trading laws to be carried forward until against future profit of the same trade. The second one is the trading law relief against total income of section 64, which allows trading laws to be set against the trade total income for a period up to a year. The third one is the early trading loss relief of section 72, who provides special relief for trading loss incurred in the early years of ending. The last one is the terminal trading law of section 89, which provides special relief for any trading losses incurred in a year of trading. Now we are moving to carry forward trading loss relief, which is important to state and understand the following points. To begin with, the commenting carry forward relief is given against future trading profit only and not against another form of income. In addition, relief is only given against future trading profit for exactly the same trade as the incurred. Now, for the principle, to continue.
Finally, I'm going to talk about the differences between the employees and self-employed people based on national insurance contributions. First of all, the primary class 1 is payable by the employee, and the amount of that class depends on the employee's earnings. Furthermore, secondary class 1 national insurance contribution is payable by employer to contribute an employee. For example, when Guy was an employee, his employer paid for him the secondary class 1 national insurance contributions. However, Guy now will be a self-employed, and he expects to take employees in his own company, so now must pay for them the secondary class national insurance contribution.
Another different type of national insurance contribution is the Class 1A. It is payable only by the employer, not by the employee. This contribution is calculated as 12.8% of the amount of benefit in kind which is assessed on the employee for income tax purposes. In addition, we have the Class 2 national insurance contributions and is payable by self-employed people. When the earnings of a self-employed person are less than the small earnings exception, then it is not required to pay the Class 2 national insurance contributions. Finally, is the Class 4 national insurance contribution and it's for self-employed people as well. A self-employed person Class 4 liability for a given tax year is based on the amount of the trading income which is charged to income tax for that year.